Some people have written books, some have a great look that covers the magazines for kids who are 17. But I don't know what to do, staring into the blue sky and just waiting for a sign. Some, they are certain of what awaits them when it all ends. But I don't know what will happen to me. Will I be remembered in a century? Or will I be forgotten like dust in the wind? Or the talk of the town that we are living in? Well, I don't know, I don't know. How could I know?
We are now in Verovicium, which is nowadays called Housteads, and it's a large Roman fort built as part of Hadrian's wall in about AD 122. And it's absolutely amazing, the history of this. Of course, Hadrian's wall has long since ceased to exist, but it is still a romantic place. And this Roman Empire in this area lasted about 300 years, and it's hard to believe. It was about 122 when it started in this area, when Hadrian built, or had this wall built. And then the Roman Empire lasted for about 300 years after that, so it's an amazing achievement. And it is a magnificent sight, and of course it's kind of enormous views all around the whole place. This is I'm looking to the south that way, but over there looking to the north, when you get over the top, this again it would be equally impressive. So very, very impressive. What do you think, Fina?
Yes, absolutely.
Lines in the sand.
So this is the Praetorium, the commander's house, and I suppose in the past this was the most important part of the entire Roman camp. But hundreds of people lived in this area, and it was the northernmost part of the Roman Empire, the northernmost part anywhere. Here was the northernmost part of the huge Roman Empire, which went all the way down, obviously from Rome, across the Mediterranean, into North Africa, the whole of North Africa, into Asia Minor, into parts of Romania, Spain, France. It was enormously incredible, achievement in empire building. And then, of course, about 410, it began to decay, and the Romans withdrew from here. And after that, of course, really, the barbarians, I suppose, took over. I don't suppose we should call them barbarians, really, because they were people just like us, and not the same as the Romans, but I suppose we, or at least I, am a descendant of those barbarians, and so it is quite amazing, but it is an amazing achievement. But what I notice is it's an enormously kind of extensive views. There are enormous views here throughout the whole of over the whole of England, I suppose. We're right in the north of England, not far that way to Scotland. On the right is the extent of the Roman Empire, which was indeed a huge empire, from Hadrian's Wall in the north, right down to North Africa in the south, and right across to Istanbul, the whole of Palestine, and what is now Turkey. So this was the symbolic heart of the fort, which is almost at the top of the hill, and this was kind of the centre, the kind of administration. It was centred around here, but all around are, and it's a very big area, all around are the administrative buildings and where the soldiers would live. And then, of course, right at the top, to that way, which is looking north, was where the Scots and the Picts would come from. That way was kind of civilization, I suppose, the south and the England and the rest of the Roman Empire. And it is indeed a very, very impressive place. And although it's pretty cold today, it's definitely worth the visit. It's absolutely. So this is looking eastwards, I suppose, in the direction of Newcastle, and the wall is not straight, of course. It winds quite a lot, and it comes up there from quite a low place, and it comes up here to one of the highest points in the area, which is the fort of Housteads, the old Verovicium, and this is the fort we're standing in. And then if we look there to the north and then round this way, looking along Hadrian's Wall to the west, and it's about 73 miles long from Wallsend in the east all the way to the Solway Firth in the west, and it is a magnificent achievement.
What will happen to me? Will I be remembered?
Nah, teman-teman, walaupun cuaca sangat dingin sekali ya, tapi kami sangat bahagia bisa mengajak kalian ke tempat ini, di mana tempat ini adalah 120 tahun sesudah Masehi. Dan inilah bekas-bekas dari peninggalan zaman Romawi dulu. Ya kan sayang?
Well, exactly. And this was behind us is the food store. It's raised off the ground, of course, to help preserve the food from vermin and so on. And this was, the food supply for the whole area. It was a large garrison of about 500 or 600 men. And they were defending to the north against the Scots and the Picts, and to the south that was the terra cognita, the known lands. Yeah, and so it's very bleak today. It's although it is late spring, it's still pretty bleak. And I can just imagine what it'd be like for people who came from Spain or North Africa or Asia Minor. They'd think it was very cold, wouldn't they? And you'll still think it's very cold too.
Apalagi yang datang dari Indonesia.
That's right, because Indonesia is never cold. Whereas in Spain it can be cold, but it's often warmer than here. But in Indonesia, as in my experience, it's always warm there. And so I can understand that Fina is feeling a bit cold. Anyway, we can now say goodbye, Fina.
Ya, so teman-teman, terima kasih sekali untuk selalu setia bersama The Adventure of Fina and Tim. Kita akan jumpa lagi secepatnya. Kalian take care and bye.